The two American Airlines jets came close to each other over Phoenix in a potentially disastrous mix-up after both were mistakenly operating under the same flight number. An alert air traffic controller intervened and ensured they maintained a safe distance. The incident occurred shortly after midnight on the 14th of August, when two aircraft identified as American Airlines Flight 2482 were briefly in the same airspace over Phoenix Sky Harbor International Airport in Arizona. According to reports, one aircraft was arriving from Chicago while the other had just taken off from Phoenix. The Chicago flight had been delayed by bad weather, prompting American Airlines to use a second aircraft for the Phoenix departure. Both flights, however, ended up operating under the same flight number. Let's first take a look and then go across to our colleague Brian reporting on this.
American 2482, if you're up, radar contact, maintain 9,000.
Second, but yeah, maintain 9,000, American 2482.
Roger that. Welcome aboard. I'm showing you at a 5,800. Is that correct?
I think someone just took that for us, but American 2482, we are 6,000, climbing 9,000.
All right. American 2482, American 2482 on the arrival. If you're on the arrival on the Eagle, you know what? Somebody else has your American 2482 on the arrival. I need you to maintain 10,000.
10,000 for American 2482 on the arrival.
And there's an American 2482 on a 0730 code. Is that correct on the departure?
Right. All right. Well, a severe incident there averted. Let's go across to Brian now on this. Brian, it could have been a big accident, but with the intervention of the ATC, no major disaster reported was averted. But how close was this really?
It was very close, yes, definitely. Two American Airlines aircraft came dangerously close to sharing converging airspace over Phoenix, Arizona, after both were mistakenly operating under the same flight number and call sign, which is a highly unusual aviation mix-up that was caught up in alert air traffic controller. And obviously this incident clearly occurred shortly after midnight on that happened on Friday near Phoenix Sky Harbor International Airport, when two aircraft operating as American Airlines Flight 2482 were simultaneously in the area. One aircraft was arriving from Chicago while the second had departed Phoenix. This Chicago-bound flight had been delayed because of bad weather. Then American Airlines subsequently used another aircraft for the Phoenix departure, but both aircraft ended up operating under the same flight number. Now, this situation definitely became potentially dangerous when the flight paths became to converge. The identical sign created the possibility that a pilot could mistakenly interpret an instruction intended for the aircraft, and the ATC also quickly identified the problem and began differentiating between the two aircraft as American 2482 on the arrival and American 2482 on the departure. So that was a smart move done, and then the controller instructed the arriving aircraft to remain above the departing jet while directing the departing aircraft to limit its climb, maintaining the required vertical separation between the very two aircraft.
Yes, Brian, thank you once again for joining us on this. It was we now wrap up this bulletin on NewsX. Thank you for watching us, and we wish you a very happy 80th Independence Day.